It's deranged, royal fae. They'll act crazy all day. They'll apologize for the fail, but still scream and wail. It's deranged, royal fae. Yeah!
Okay, so like using white and on the top, or like shinies and light colors on the top, and black on the bottom is just like pop. Pop, pop, pop. That's like glittery lips. Hi, I'm Deranged Royal Fae. I got my stockings and everything today. I hadn't intended that rhyme, but you know I do it all the time. Welcome back to the ward. You're probably going to notice the same makeup or similar makeup that I'm doing, that I did for yesterday's freak show Sunday. I'm recording this Sunday. It's like 5 a.m. I've been up since 1 a.m. It's normal for me. I did get a good amount of sleep at least, so at least there's that. I was thinking to my meds before this, but like, nah, I'll eat after, right before my stream. Okay, so lots of things, but mainly what I was going to say is, I asked my psychiatrist if I can up my dosage on my ADHD meds, and because I used to be on that dosage before, and I think I had a really bad reaction, not because of the meds itself, but because of a combination of my anxiety meds in it. They apparently have a bad interaction. So I'll talk to my psychiatrist next time I see her, like, more in detail. I'm gonna try again today, so we'll see on the stream if I start being like, oh, fuck. And if you watched it before you watch this, then you'll know what my reaction was or is. So yeah. It does look like, though, I did immediately call up my psychiatrist's office and tell them, hey, might have to cancel that prescription for the higher dosage, because I think I'm having a bad reaction. And maybe that was a little too preemptive of me, but at least it was important to have let them know, because it looks like they prescribed me the smaller dosage now. So that's that. As always, because my life is very eventful, without being eventful, lots happened. I went on 2 dates this week. One of them was from the coffee date last week. Super sweet still. I say date, they came over here, but apparently that counts as a date according to like my roommates. And slept over. It was like a nice little pajama party afterwards. We cuddled. I gave a peck, but like we mostly meet as friends. We smooched the home as goodnight. I'm Greek. We literally kiss as a greeting and goodbye. But yeah, super nice, super nice. And I had a nice date on Monday. There was a little picnic, and suddenly there's a pearl on my face. We're not gonna ask about that. But yeah, so I had a picnic date on Monday as well, as I was reporting about. It did go through, and it was nice. She brought her dog. Dog was adorable, but I did feel bad because it made it hard for her to eat her sandwich in peace. And she really liked the sandwich I made, gave her cookies, things like that. It seemed like it was going very nicely, we were having a good time. She went back to my place, and her and the girls talked to IT stuff. Like, I swear I don't have a type. She's also a trans woman like the girls. It was just like, what is this? I'm not doing this on purpose. But yeah, I'm not sure if being ghosted or if she's just busy or she's just dealing with depression, because that's part of the reason why she was very quiet with me before. So I might be getting ghosted, might be that she's just working stuff out. Basically, I haven't really heard from her since like Tuesday, because she apologized about bringing the dog, and I was like, you're fine. I even told her, like, I had a great time. I just feel bad that you couldn't really eat in peace, but not, like, you have nothing to apologize for. I had a good time. So yeah, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And that's just as like friends too. Like, yeah. Or maybe I'm just like too young for her. I don't know. I mean, I'm about to turn 26 real soon, and she's turning 39. I obviously don't give a shit about age difference. I've always just got along with people who are either older or younger than me, like getting along with my peers. Ha! The other person, though, the one that came over Friday night, yes, Friday night, they are a bit younger, 21, not bad. They're turning 22 this year. Something actually, a little fun thing that I was doing with the makeup, the reason why there's those little curls there, they're jokes, because I spiral. And then now I will never run out of spoons. If you don't know what spoon theory is, I highly recommend looking into it, because I know I want to give like a quick little run up. Basically, it was originally started for people with chronic physical conditions, but it's also welcome to be used by people with chronic mental conditions, where you kind of have a set amount of spoons as you start the day. Sometimes you have more spoons than other days, and as you do certain tasks that use up your spoons, and so like you can run out of spoons. You kind of just need to space out how much spoons you're gonna use, and how many spoons you have is the kind of things you can do. So you have like 4 spoons. Oh, you can go out to town, you can hang out with people, you can have a good time, you get a lot of stuff done, go to work. You have 3 spoons. You can kind of do like the bare minimum of work maybe, but you can get through the day, but it might be a bit exhausting. Maybe you could take the dog for a walk. You have 2 spoons. You can take a shower, maybe get a few things done. 1 spoon? For me, 1 spoon is pretty darn close to I can't get out of bed. So yeah, to be fair, spoon theory, I'm giving these examples. These aren't exactly my spoons. This is just an example of like maybe someone's. Everyone has their own thing that spoons cost or don't cost, and you can regain spoons too. Like, it's not just losing spoons. There are certain ways you can regain spoons, and some days it's easier to do those things to regain spoons than others. Sometimes you just won't regain any spoons that day, and that's what it is. So yeah, now I will never run out of spoons. Complete coincidence or accident. I did get the idea of wearing spoons on my neck from Emily Autumn, but it's complete coincidence that it happens to be the exact same spoon that she sometimes wears. I didn't realize it until I was one day watching like a video of one of her live performances, and I paused. I was like, it's the same spoon. And I have 2 versions of this now. I have one that's like a little bit thinner and smaller. It's the same length, but it's like smaller. I don't it's a little odd to describe. I might have accidentally shifted the camera. Yeah. Hopefully this audio won't be my only setup. In the first few videos, why they might have sounded nicer is because I was using my microphone, but then the microphone for some reason wasn't on the same time as the video. My microphone was connected to my computer. So I do plan on getting a microphone specifically for my phone, and hopefully it'll be nice quality. The one downside I'm really seeing from reviews for it is that it requires you to kind of take off your phone case, which is probably the time you want it the most, is when you're recording in certain setups. As someone who's now been diagnosed with BPD, I would say one of the things that's a common thing in BPD that I don't experience is splitting, unless it's about myself. And if you don't know what splitting is, it's kind of going like seeing things in a very black and white mentality where everything's either good or bad, and unless it's about myself, as in I'm bad, I will normally just be like, I'm bad, I'm awful, I don't tend to split about other people. Like, I'm always giving people the benefit of the doubt, even when I'm upset with them. I don't know, I don't always show that on camera. Maybe I do, I don't know. But like my best friend, who's like the main person I ever like fucking info dump and like trauma dump onto, he himself is like, you give people too much the benefit of the doubt. You give it more than I'd give anyone. Like, and he was even saying about Capy is like, in times that I would just be like, emoji, you're way too lenient. Going on a little side tangent about Capy. I don't know if I've ever said this one on camera, but when he has been on dating apps, he's opened his searches to both women and non-binary. And I don't have the heart to tell him this directly. Maybe one day I will. But when I knew about that, I just had this thought of, please, for your sake and the sake of the other person, do not date any more trans people. And the reason why I say for his sake is because I know it's very overwhelming as a cis-het person to constantly have trans stuff in your face. And I know he's gotten overwhelmed with the trans stuff because of me. One person's enough to overwhelm him. Having several trans people in your life, or like constantly, like someone you're actually romantic with, someone you're seeing on the daily sometimes, or talking on the daily, having more than one is going to be very overwhelming if one person's enough to be overwhelming. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not really blaming him for it being too much. Like, his friend group has mostly been cis-het white boys, in fact, but mostly cis-het boys. He himself is mixed. He's a bit darker skinned. So he's not, white, but he does have like a white passing voice, if you will. He's always got a very gentleman sounding northern accent. Where he's from in the north is often very shat upon, especially by the South. And so there's a very specific accent that usually comes from there that he could not replicate even if he wanted to. Like, he can't do it without sounding offensive as fuck, I guess. So that's funny. Even though he grew up and raised there all of his life. But yes, so I do feel like I do highly relate to dissociation and depersonalization and such. Because when I'm in a very bad spiral or lowness, a lot of times I'll be like, this can't be real. Like, when big events happen, I'm just like, this can't be real. And right? I'm just going to wake up from this, right? This isn't real. This isn't real. And if I remember to gather all the pictures for this, because I have no idea if I can or will, I have these personifications of emotions and things like that. And sometimes it's easy for me to shift the blame onto those. Like, it's my inner X, Y, or Z. Like, for example, I had this character named Chiaki. Chiaki here. They. Also, I feel like Chiaki use he, him too. Chiaki is my inner yandere. And originally, Chiaki wasn't supposed to be my inner yandere. Originally, Chiaki was just a fictional character that was based off me, but in like a yandere, like Japanese high school setting. And eventually, over time, when I first actually experienced my first jealousy spiral, back in 2020, June of 2020, Chiaki then became an inner part of me. This representation of my jealousies and insecurities and possessiveness and obsession. Basically, Chiaki became a personification of one of my symptoms of BP, or some of my symptoms of BPD. Without realizing, in fact, that week, that moment, those days, that month was when I really first started having concerns of BPD. Because I had literal gut-wrenching pain. I thought I was going to get an ulcer. Like, that's how bad my jealousy made me depressed. And I showed it in a comic. If I can find the comic, I won't show you the full comic, but I'll put images of it, where she's literally stabbing me in the gut. She's stabbing me in general, especially in the gut, and it kind of represented that literal pain I was in. And I'm trying to justify to her, or tell her why her feelings are feelings. The feelings of these jealousies and insecurities and possessiveness is not valid, where it's not justified. Like, am I calm down? Or like, but I love him, those kind of things. But she just keeps stabbing away at me. That, I feel like that in its own right is kind of dissociation. On top of that, I have, like the other people I mentioned, that I've drawn on and personified into. There's certain, like, emotions or, like, reactions of mine or just moods of mine, and I turned them into designs and gave them names and everything. So it's just, like, I feel like that kind of is dissociating to its own right. And I do have, and then the whole, like, this can't be real kind of thing. And then the whole depersonalization, where I don't feel like I'm living my life. I don't feel like this is real. I'm seeing myself from another perspective. And maybe that's why it's easy to hate on me. I'm like another person. I'm like, you. Fuck you. I also have lapses in memory. Not quite like super extreme, But it's why it's very helpful for me to have a journal, and the planner especially, because I know what time and what day. I honestly, even though these are very important things, such strong emotions, such, important events or important people or whatever, very strong emotional ties, like literal, like me wanting to die, I, for the life of me, sometimes can't remember when those were, or why I was feeling that way, or what X, Y, or Z. Unless I've been repeating it, unless I wrote it down, I'll be like, oh yeah, something happened that day. I totally forgot. Like, oh, what was that crash about? I can't recall. Even though they're important. And that's like a whole thing about how clearly just because you didn't remember something doesn't mean it wasn't important to you. I've gotten to try doing tarot on the daily. I do like the daily like draw, and I do a daily spread, and I do a nightly spread. I also do the monthly draw. This month's tarot card. This month's tarot card's the Fool. So that's fun. To be fair, I know it's not all black and white with tarot, that the Fool can also have its positive qualities, especially like enthusiasm. As you enthusiastically walk off a cliff. The enthusiasm can also be interpreted by ignorance and such. Ignorance is bliss, or foolish optimism, but no pun intended there. But yeah, I could try to interpret it as a good thing, like it's a new beginning, etc. Beginning of a journey. I mentioned Katie's partner and the intimacy and just like the whole drama that's happened with that. That ended up causing a bad spiral for me yesterday. Yesterday, as in Saturday, when the other person I mentioned went home after the sleepover. We were having a good time. We were watching Love and Leashes on Netflix, so they would really enjoy it because we had been talking about like, kinky stuff the previous night. But they had to leave a little bit early for other reasons. But we had a good time, and like if they could come back or we go out again. Right around the time they're leaving, Kitty tells me about how we see obviously Kitty's partner is struggling, depressed, dysphoric. But Kitty also informs me that we're assuming she has DID because she has alters to split other people in her mind, and one of the personalities, as confessed to me by Kitty, really doesn't like me for a number of reasons. Partly because she doesn't like masculine people. I know it sounds really funny to refer to myself as a masculine person when I have long hair, flowers, bows, makeup, and dress on. But I've also got the facial hair and use he, him pronouns sometimes, so affirming, I guess. But then also the whole thing, and that personality especially is a very like protective, fiery, angry personality. And apparently she had to keep fighting off that personality last night. And so that contributed to their kind of spiral, and I kind of felt really awful. Like, God, I fucking hurt her a lot, and I feel really bad. I'm like, does she need me to be around a lot less often? Does she need me to give space? Does she need me to leave the group chat? Things like that. And I just keep hurting people. I'm so scared I'm just going to keep doing it. This pattern, I just keep doing it. And it made me really scared about the person that ended up sleeping over. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to do it to them too. That person uses they, she pronouns. And so that sent me into a pretty bad spiral. But the thing is now, and the only person I turn to is my best friend. I think I call him Jem. And he felt like the only person I could really talk to, because I feel like there's a number of reasons I feel like I can't talk to Capy, and part of it is like that I don't know how he would react, how much he'd panic to hear I'm having a suicidal spiral. Where if he would contact the girls, or if he would be like, do X, Y, or Z, that's going to be a result that makes me unhappy, or if he's going to run away, or what, I don't know, and I can't trust that he will have a good reaction without panicking properly. I understand the panic, but at the same time, I'm like, he doesn't do well with responses to really extreme situations. But yeah, and then I wouldn't also know where to begin with explaining to him. Especially since he currently hates and is super angry with the person I feel guilt over hurting. So it's like, no, that's not happening. And like I think I mentioned last week about like, I felt like there was such a lack of sympathy for the situation or understanding and such of the situation. Like, I'm not saying he didn't feel sympathetic, but just it did not come and feel like that way. And it felt like he didn't get it. So there's that too. But yeah, and then I felt like I couldn't talk to the person that was just over for a number of reasons, because like I didn't want to burden them, and we're still pretty new and knowing each other, and there was a lot to deal with and a lot to catch them up on and such. And it just like, I don't have the mental capacity. I need to just ramble and vent to someone I feel safe around, someone I trust more than anyone else in the world, which is my best friend Jem. So basically, I made it eventually through my spiral. But it was pretty harsh, where I was just like, I can't leave the bed. I don't trust myself. I need to stay in the bed because I have all my meds and sharp objects back in here now. And really, as twisted as it is, Capy's my main reason for keeping myself grounded a lot of times, where it's like the fear and worry that Capy would follow me or this would gravely affect him is what keeps me from doing something stupid, for lack of better words. But yeah, so I kept myself from doing anything really bad, but I just needed to stay in the bed. And then eventually, like, before that too, so as soon as the person left, my god, Capy keeps having me play Sea of Thieves. Not having me, obviously I'm not forced to, but I don't have a heart to say no. I know how badly he wants to, and so we kept on playing it. The spiral hit as soon as the person left, because I got informed it. Like, I think I got informed it before they even left the door, but because they were in the bathroom, they didn't hear what was going on. And so then I come back in with that sinking feeling, and I'm like collecting all my shit. Like, I gotta go. I can't let Kitty see me about to spiral. And here's the thing, by telling me, like, there was some harm and good that came from telling me that I was bad for the girls' mental health. The good being that now I know to be better for them, that I know to be careful. I don't know. They have not given me any information as to what to do or not to do, or what I've been doing that's hurting them or making things uncomfortable, awkward, whatever. And I'm like, I'm going to try piecing together as much as I can from my common sense, but I need you guys to give me more. I need to know what's upsetting, what's triggering. I need to, so I cannot do it anymore. The harm, though, that was done, not telling me, so I don't know what the fuck to do. Like, my existence in general, just bad. The harm, the chances of me telling them that anything's wrong went from slim to nothing. Like, there's no way in hell I'm going to talk to them now when I'm spiraling out of worry that I'm burdening them, I'm worrying them X, Y, or Z. I'm bad for their mental health. So now they, like, even if they say they want to be there for me, I can't let them be there for me. That's just how it's going to be. And then on top of that, I don't want Kitty feeling bad that because she told me this information, it caused me to spiral. So there's that to unpack as well. But yeah, so I toughed through the initial half of the spiral for Capy, because we played some more Sea of Thieves, the two of us, and then he had to leave a little bit early. I guess he wanted to play a little bit more before he went to bed right afterwards, and just like, as soon as we got off that call, I was like, okay, now it's time to curl up on bed and cry, because I've been holding it. And I'm like, I cannot keep the mask off. And then he tried calling me to like do more Sea of Thieves, and I'm just like, and then eventually we kind of just chatted and like did stuff, but via text. I was not in a place to use my voice for that first like hour or so. So that was that. And I see that I had a few more spirals other places, and I can't quite remember why or what they were about. I do know Tuesday I had an emotional crash, and I fell asleep on the floor depressed, and then I did something similar in the nighttime. My sleep is very far and few here. we're not going to unpack that. But yeah, so I have gotten on a stronger mood stabilizer dosage, and I'm going to try again with the ADHD meds today. Might be a stupid idea, but we'll see. Sounds like I'm going to be playing more Sea of Thieves today. Yesterday, Capy asked me, oh, do you want to have like a one-on-one day? Like, do you want to, because we haven't had any in a long while, because he keeps fucking inviting me to Sea of Thieves with friends. Just keeps playing Sea of Thieves. Over and over again. Don't get me wrong, I love the game. It's a fun game. We keep playing it recently. I'm like, I could do more productive things with my time, and I don't have the heart to say no. That's on me. That's on me. Yesterday I asked me, let's do a one-on-one day. This morning, as in Sunday morning, he's like, Sea of Thieves again. And I'm like, okay, I guess, thinking it might be just the two of us, because what yesterday was. And then he says, oh yeah, one of our other friends is on board. And it's like, I was like, I thought I had to hold back because I didn't want to make him feel bad. So I had to hold back saying, I thought we were going to do a one-on-one day. But I didn't hesitate in saying, first we're going to do voice line recordings. Because when I said that, I still thought it was just one-on-one. And then right afterwards, he was like, oh yeah, so XYZ friends on board. No pun intended. Boy! Sometimes I'm just like, I get it. He has ADHD. He just got diagnosed with ADHD. I get it. And he's dealing with his own stress and depression. But sometimes I'm just like, it's like talking, just, that's the emotion. There are no words for this emotion, just a sound. Oh, okay, yeah, so Tuesday, that's right. I don't remember why I spiraled, is what I was saying. Basically, for some reason, automatic thoughts came into my head Tuesday, where I suddenly felt very guilty that I deleted the group chat that had Capy and the girls. There's now a group chat of Capy, the girls, and my best friend. For some reason, just out of nowhere, I'm just like, I suddenly just felt fucking guilty as hell about that. I'm regretful about that. And then I got into a spiral of thinking I should have succeeded my suicide attempt back in February. I just thought it would be better if I had been successful about my suicide attempt in February, that it would have been better if I had let Capy break up with me back then, and then since that didn't work out, then, break up with me after the whole thing with Kitty's partner. It was just like, maybe it should have been better if I died. Oh, there's a nice spiral that happened Wednesday. Did I have a spiral Thursday? Oh, but yeah, I've also been doing probably my favorite. I don't remember if I showed it to you last time, but my favorite thus far is this BPD tracker. I'm going to fold up so you don't accidentally see any names. As you can see, it's mostly stayed. It's mostly stayed at the bottom, and we most neutral to low for emotions. So the emotions are the warm colors, and energies the cool colors. There was two spikes here in the positive, because those were the days the dates happened. And then we had one hell of a crash from Friday to Saturday. I wonder what happened then. But yeah, this is probably my faves. And then it has on the other side, so you get a list below like what triggers were. I'll put, like, if I remember to, I'll put a link in the description. Or can I put links for things that aren't videos in the corner? I don't remember. But then on the other side, we've got like actual like emotion things, and you rate them from like 0 to 5, or the ones you say Y or N to for yes or no. And then on another thing, you have like, what did I do today? What did I feel? And then if you want to, there's a journal section. I've only printed some pages. I scanned and printed some pages just until the camp comes up, and at the camp I will use the actual original thing that I printed this from, scanned and printed this from. Until I run out of the ones I printed, I'm going to keep using the bipolar one as well. Maybe I'll keep using it forever, but so that's that. Little sleep, consistent, good sleep, but I'm not feeling tired too. And then lots of spirals and crashes that are random or just rightfully triggered, I guess, but sometimes just a lot, but nothing. At the same time, it's like nothing's happening, but a lot's happening. Well, I should probably wrap it up there. I'm hungry. I'm gonna feed myself, because that's self-care is important, kids. At some point in the next week or so, I'm gonna take my mom out to the movies, because I haven't gone to the movies for a while, and I would really like to get out, and it'd be nice to treat out my mom, because she does so much for me, and she's taking me to the camp, and it's a 2-hour drive, and take it to I'm gonna have rainbow hair soon, before I go to the camp, so I'm not 100% sure how I'm gonna go about things with uploading videos while I'm also doing the camp. I'm probably going to record a lot on campgrounds, and then whenever I get like my days off or breaks, I'll go uphill, and no promises I can upload anything, but if I am able to go to town, I'll have a lot better connection. But on that hill, I make no promises. I have a new phone provider, which should hopefully be way better than what I had last time. God, that costed so much money. It was like pay as you go rather than, unlimited or, prepaid. I'm gonna have to pay that off this summer, because Hummingbird was one paying for it. Poor thing. I have exactly how much I owe her. I'm gonna, round up. It's like so much but nothing at the same time. It's just nothing's happening really per se, but so much is happening. I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna go feed myself. I'm gonna get set up for my stream, because that's gonna be happening, and I don't know. I can't check the time. I can't check the time right now. Thank you so much for watching. You're amazing. You're beautiful. And I hope you all have a... Oh my god! You know what I forgot? Happy Pride, everybody! I don't know if I ever showed anyone, but I have a little, pride heart there, and then I have a little, resist fist with the trans flag in it. Happy Pride! I should have had I had rainbow at the beginning of the week's video, so beginning week of Pride's video. So I said it was practicing. The gay is inside my heart. I do not need you to show it on the rest of my body. The pride is, I do have the pride flags here. The pride lives within me, from all the things I represent, from the ace spectrum to transness to transgenderism. That's a joke. It's a joke. Don't ever call it transgenderism unless you're not very well educated on this. And I think if I have the time, I want to do videos of some very interesting Anon Tumblr I've gotten in the recent past. It's fascinating, some of the stuff I get. And it feels a lot of unprovoked. I don't even know where it's coming from, because it's to my blog that is my main blog, but I'm not super active on. But yeah, we'll touch on that later. I've already let this go on for far too long. Don't ask me why. You can't ask me why. It's because for some reason I want to get my entire head in the box. We don't ask why I do these things. I just do these things. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching, you beautiful, beautiful people, and I hope you all have a gay day. Remember, y'all valid.
Well, they're glad that you stayed, yet you wasted yet another day. Their videos are a bore, but they've got lots more in store. It's Deranged, Royal Fae. Yeah.